Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel, Blast and Burn Rants. I'm Lady Explosion.
And I am Inferno.
Today, we are going to be ranting about the My Heroes... about the My Hero Academia World Heroes Mission movie.
Good job.
Thanks. Okay, I'm just glad I got that. We're here to share some of our thoughts on our experience in the theater, as well as some reactions to fans who had their own outlooks on the movie.
We went to go see it the first time together, and it was an experience.
Yes, it was an experience indeed. Not the worst experience I expected, but it definitely had its ups and downs. So, let's get into it, shall we?
We shall. Some of it really stunk.
Literally. Alright, so the My Hero World's Mission movie. Personally, I enjoyed it a lot. What did you think?
I absolutely loved it. My favorite part was,
Yes, that's my favorite part too!
My favorite part.
Can you not get over rodeo? Is that what the hang-up is?
Yeah. We were talking about the movie before we started recording, and she called him Rodeo, and I don't know why, but it has just killed me.
You never said what your favorite part was. Maybe we'll come back to that later.
It's Rodeo.
Okay, that's her favorite part was rodeo. Anyways, we both saw it twice. The first time together, and then the second time separately with other groups of friends. Don't come for us. I would say it's not better than Heroes Rising, but it's definitely better than Two Heroes.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree.
I think that it had more of a, this is an anime movie, as where Heroes Rising had more of like a risk and like more closer to the story and had more like emotion in it, I guess.
With Heroes Rising, it felt not Heroes Rising. Oh my gosh, Two Heroes. With Two Heroes, it felt a lot more like maybe this could actually end badly. Maybe something could actually happen in this that's gonna affect the rest.
Are you talking about Two Heroes or Heroes Rising? Because
Oh my gosh, it's Heroes Rising.
I'm sorry, switch that out. Heroes Rising had more emotion, like this could actually happen. Two Heroes definitely was more of an anime movie too.
Two Heroes was an anime movie. Heroes Rising felt more like something could actually happen in this that impacts the rest of the anime. And then World Heroes Mission, it felt like this is good, this is safe, because like we already know what's gonna happen in the next season. We know what's up. It feels comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. And it had that whole, this is an anime feel to it, like an anime movie. And if you've watched enough anime movies, you know what we're talking about. But overall, loved it. Good story, exciting fights, some good humor. And we got to meet an amazing character.
Yes, we did. We really did.
Rhodey Soul. He was great to add in. And I even think Horikoshi mentioned something about adding him to the universe permanently.
I really hope so. He's still got a chance to do it.
So, the first time that we went and saw it was together, and we saw it on opening day because, why would we not?
We had to avoid spoilers. That's the number one reason.
Oh, yeah, we weren't about to get spoiled like that.
Also, the little booklets that they gave out.
Oh, my gosh. We knew that they were going to be giving out those little booklets with the special chapter in them and all the info on the movie, which they'd only ever done in Japan. They had never done it in the U.S. before, and they were going to do it for this movie, and we were like, oh, we've got to go.
Yeah, I actually bought all the Japanese ones, and I'm learning a little bit of Japanese, but I haven't been able to read it, and so then we had the English books, and I was like, oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, whew, this is great. We went to the last showing. We get there, and there's, like, not even a fourth of the theater full when we got there. Like, maybe even less than that. It was barely, like, anybody there. It was great. And then it began. We went just the two of us. To our left, we had a few people who chose to narrate. Not quietly, by the way.
It was like they were constantly guessing what was going to happen next. Like, literally the entire movie, they were just like, this is going to happen next, this is going to happen next, that's going to happen next. They'd never seen it before. They were just guessing, and they were just airing their guesses, and then after it happened, they'd be like, I was right.
Yeah, and that was pretty annoying. They weren't very quiet either. Luckily, they were just quiet enough where I could keep myself from saying anything.
I had to deal with that battle, and you had your own that you were fighting.
Yeah, on the other side of us, to the right, well, somebody decided to skip a shower for the 5th day in a row, and it was quite obvious when the aroma made its way over to my seat.
I could smell it on the other side of you.
I know. And it was kind of hilarious because I kept leaning closer to you. I was like trying to squeeze up against you so I couldn't smell it as bad. And then you were like squeezing up against me so you couldn't hear them as well.
We were just stuck in the middle. We had very poor seats.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate. So then, as we're watching this movie, we get to the big fight scene. As we all know, in any shonen anime movie, there is going to be a big battle at the end. That's no spoiler, no surprise to y'all. And suddenly, as we're sitting there enjoying the blood and the violence, I hear literal sobbing, crying behind us, like that kind of noise.
Like that full-blown hiccup sobbing. Like that really... like that kind of sobbing. It was like that.
I mean, it literally got to the point that I started questioning if I truly had become so emotionless and heartless. That is until I realized that everyone else around us was not even making a single little teardrop sad emotion. They were all hyped up.
Yeah, like the fights were really intense. It wasn't like a sad thing. The only thing that was really like kind of risking it and a little questionable was, spoiler alert, was the thing with Rhodey, with the fact that he nearly died. Like, because it's like he's not part of the official series. We already know that Deku, Bakugo, and Todoroki, they're going to be fine. We already know that they're going to be fine. They're going to be in the next season. Like, they're good. But Rhodey, that was a little, it could go the other way.
I genuinely feared for his life. Like, I genuinely thought, oh my gosh, he's gonna die. This is gonna be so sad.
I was like, this is it. I was prepared, and then when Pino started disappearing, I was like, oh, that's it.
Anyways, as we were watching this final battle at the end, everybody around us was cheering and hyped up and, like, all ready. And, you know, me and you were just, like, freaking out as well. We were like, yeah, this is awesome, you know.
We were hitting each other.
Yeah, we were. Like, that's how excited we were. Then the end credits rolled, and the sobbing behind us turned into chatting and giggling. I mean, it was the equivalent to if they just finished a crappy rom-com with their favorite young hot actor.
Also, I feel the need to mention that they were crying over Deku. That's who they were crying over. They weren't even crying over Rhodey. They were crying over Deku because they were worried about him.
Because he got hurt. Oh, no. Dude, we watch shonen anime so that we can see the main character get hurt and then push through it to defeat the bad guy.
Have we not seen Deku get hurt all these other times? Did they just watch this one movie?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm wondering. And if they haven't, then they must cry every few seconds that they watch My Hero.
I cry very easily. I nearly cried at like one point during the movie because of... Once we understood, like, Rhodey's family dynamic, how he cared for his siblings, that about made me cry just because it was so sweet. That about made me cry because it was so sweet. Because I cry fairly easy over stuff like that, but, like, the rest of it, not even a little.
Yeah, I usually see you crying, and then I just start laughing at you.
Yeah.
Because I hardly ever cry.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we got two perspectives here on the emotional scale.
Yes. Oh no, I was hyped up the whole time. I had zero sad emotions. I was on cloud 9. I was excited, and I was like, yes,
the blood, all the blood.
I mean, we both agree that it was great. There was good bloodshed. I mean, like it was lots of hitting and violence.
More of that, please.
Yes. If this is anything like the war arc is going to be, then I cannot wait.
It's going to be perfect.
The crazy thing was, there were a few people in front of us that I assumed would be the problem. But they were actually the quietest, most respectful. I don't even think I heard anything from those people. And the guy was wearing a dog collar, and the girl was wearing a toga shirt.
Yeah, they were quiet during the whole movie. They never started anything. They never started crying or making weird comments or, like, screaming when Deku would look at Rhodey. None of that.
Exactly. They were the most normal people in there, and they were dressed the most abnormally. I mean, when the girl walked in with a toga t-shirt on and a tutu, I was kind of concerned.
Yeah, and then the dog collar is just kind of like, I'm a little concerned. Because it wasn't like this guy was just, like, super gothic. Like, it was a normal-looking guy, but he just had a dog collar on.
Yeah, I was a little sus. Mm-hmm. I mean, he was sus, but I was suspicious. After that experience, we were both hyped up and ready for some references to draw. Because, that's what we do.
Yeah, we both like to draw. I mean, we both drew our avatars, as you can clearly see, but...
Yes, I know.
We
Not
also...
professional.
No, but we just draw a lot of fan art, and so we wanted to draw stuff from the movie, and that was a mistake, honestly.
Yeah, I specifically started looking for a very specific scene of Rhodey Soul for a reference. So I went on TikTok because I literally couldn't find it anywhere else. But I didn't find references. I found disappointment instead. Now,
you found disappointment in Fruity Lies.
Fruity Lies. Yes, exactly. Lies! Lies! Now, I may be crazy, okay? Call me crazy if you will. But typically battle shonen anime is geared towards the subject of battles, action, story, character development, and if there is any kind of romance, it's sprinkled in. It's not typically the focus. And My Hero Academia is a battle shonen. I mean, correct? As we spoke nearly the whole way home about the fighting and the animation and the blood and the humor and the wholesome moments and the philosophy behind the story they were trying to convey, which was actually kind of funny. We had actually talked about that exact subject on our way up there, and they were literally saying exactly what we had been saying the whole way up there. It was kind of hilarious.
It was perfect.
I know, it just makes me love My Hero even more. But these people had a completely different perspective, and we're going to look at a couple examples of what I found perusing the interwebs. Okay, the first comment I have about this is I didn't realize that Rhodey had never seen a shirtless boy before, apparently. Oh, also, some of these might be spoilers.
I think they're all spoilers at this point. If you're this far in the video, clearly you're okay with the spoilers.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, I just really don't understand how seeing a shirtless guy would be some kind of awakening. And yeah, that's not really the vibe that I got.
Also, how are you able to tell there's a gay awakening happening? Because I'm not seeing anything like actually in the movie, so I'm a little confused as to where this gay awakening is coming from.
Yeah, there's no indication of romance or anything like that, and it's hard to believe that people just skip over the fact that, maybe they have a strong connection as friends and respective human beings with different perspectives on what being a hero is.
Also, are we just gonna gloss over the fact that, like, Deku is the first friend that Rhodey has had in, like, literal years because he has not had any sort of even friendly type person towards him in so long?
Yeah, besides his siblings. So you're just going to take that away by turning it into some romantic thing? That's kind of gross.
And it's not to say that, like, romance doesn't matter, but romance cheapens a friendship like that. You're really taking away from what's actually happening here by trying to make it romantic. Because, yeah, a romantic relationship is great, but you need a friendship to build that upon, and friendship at the end of the day is way more important than any romantic relationship you could possibly have.
Good friendships can make you see the bad relationships that you possibly could have romantically. And then I just want to add this whole seeing how far his scar goes. How long have we been seeing this?
We've been seeing the scar for a while now. Why are you just now noticing it?
Yeah, there's not really anything shocking about it. And I don't get how you go from this one look to this. I just don't understand.
first that I want to ask a question. This is a question I asked you a minute ago, but I'm going to ask it now for everyone here. It says Deku in the middle of a romantic montage trying to add a fifth person to his polycule, which, number one, what is a polycule? I'm a little confused by that. Number two, what do you mean fifth? Because if we have Deku, Bakugo, and Todoroki, I'm assuming, which would make them a throuple, if we have them...
A throuple.
If we have them, and then we're trying to add Rhodey into the mix, that's 4. I don't know what that's called, but that's 4. So
Throuple.
I wanna know who and where is this fifth person? Like, who is it? I just want to know.
And I want to know, are we talking about adding a fifth person as in he's adding a fifth person? And if so, that means there's 2 more people. We still don't understand. And also, I'm assuming polycule has something to do with a polyamorous relationship, but why? Why is this the focus of, like, you go and see this movie and this... I mean, the title of this video is a summary of World Heroes Mission. Why is that the first point? Like, that's what I want to know. You know?
My first point was Rhodey Soul. My second point... my second point in the summary of the World Heroes Mission is the amazing, very cool fights. That big one at the end was perfect.
Oh my gosh, the Bakugo one. Oh my god, I was so freaking hyped up. Plus, there was like some foreshadowing in there. I know! I was like, oh my gosh.
Also, are we not even going to talk about the plot of the movie at all? It was good. Like, that was a good, solid plot, especially for an anime movie.
Yeah, it's a completely different perspective on the fact that we go from this whole perspective all along of how, oh, the people with the most powerful quirks should be in charge to quirks are a curse and we need to get rid of all of them. I mean, how crazy is that? That those are those are the different perspectives we're getting. Okay, his boyfriend's trying to find him based on vague text while the world is ending. Oh my gosh. Okay, why can't we just say, like, his friends trying to find him based on vague text while the world is ending? Like, that's an important plot point to see. It's really hilarious when you have Todoroki going, why do you keep sending me all these coded messages? Like, the most literal person. Like, you're sending it to him and not Bakugo, who could literally figure it out, which is hilarious.
Out of everyone, you really chose Todoroki. Like, did you not learn anything from your past history with him?
I think the reason is because he knew that if he texted Todoroki, Todoroki would come.
Bakugo probably wouldn't.
Bakugo would be like, figure it out on your own, you nerd.
But also, I just want to bring up, like, that's such a small plot point in the movie. Like, that was just, like, one thing that happened. That's not even something that happens over a quarter of the movie.
Yeah, and to create that as some kind of summary. And he figured it out very quickly, actually. Like, even for Todoroki.
I was really proud of him. He's grown. He's gotten a lot smarter.
Okay, what the heck? Okay, Rhodey's so prepared to become a sugar baby to a future pro hero. Let me tell you something right now. Do you know what a sugar baby is? It is someone who is much younger than the one who is their sugar mama or daddy, okay? So, how does that work when Deku is younger than Rhodey?
Also, if you're trying to ship them into a polycule, I would also like to bring up that most of the time a sugar baby does not actually really have a romantic relationship with their sugar daddy or sugar mama. Usually, sometimes you'll have it where it's like they pay you to have dinner with them once a week, or they'll pay you for sexual favors. It's not really a relationship, it's a business transaction.
Yeah, and on top of the fact, again, with this whole summary of the movie, I mean, I get that this is, like, kind of joking, but some people do not joke about this. This is their summary of the movie. And it just doesn't make sense that this is why you like to watch this movie.
You're not providing us with an actual, like, good review or outlook on the movie. It just doesn't make sense.
And a lot of times what happens is people will watch this movie, and it's kind of similar to when I started watching My Hero. I had seen a lot of these headcanons of, oh, they're this couple, this is a couple, this is a couple. And then I watched the whole thing and then suddenly go, wait a second, weren't there supposed to be couples in this? Like, you know, Bakudeku and Kiribaku or whatever. And then there's no proof that I'm watching it thinking that that's what it is. So I'm looking for it, like, looking like, okay, at any moment I'll be. And by the time I get into the story and everything, not only am I so distracted by how good the story is that I don't care about all that, but I realize that none of that is obvious or shown to be true.
It's literally like the best example that I could give was before I watched Jujutsu Kaisen, and I saw literally everyone being like, oh yeah, Yuji and Megami, they're in like a canon relationship, like they're boyfriends. And so then I went to watch Jujutsu Kaisen, and they were not boyfriends. They were not like that at all. And I was honestly just very genuinely confused because, like, I swear to God, I saw like hundreds of people being like, yeah, like they're literally actually boyfriends. There's a gay canon couple in this show. And then I was watching it and I was like, where?
Yeah, on top of the fact that Yuji constantly talks about his specific type being female and a very specific shape of female.
He literally, the first thing you learn about Yuji is he likes women like Jennifer Lawrence. Like, what do you mean there's a canon gay couple?
Yeah, exactly. So, once again, I know this is kind of like a humorous video, but really, this is what you get out of watching a shonen battle anime movie? Really?
It would be humorous if it wasn't for the fact that these people genuinely thought that way and genuinely viewed the movies and also the show this way. If it wasn't for the fact that this is their truth and their reality, then it would be funny, but it's not. They're not even joking. They're being like 100% serious.
I do not care what anyone says, but there is no straight explanation for that look right there. The way that Rowdy is looking down at Deku that way. There is no straight explanation for that.
Did she say Denku? Well, first of all, she said rowdy. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm pretty sure rowdy is spelled R-O-W-D-Y, not R-O-D-Y.
Yeah, number one, his name is Rhodey. It's not Rowdy. It's not Roddy, and it's not Rodeo either. I'm sorry to break your heart here.
Okay. That was one time. It was on accident. I didn't mean to say rodeo, okay?
Well, it's not rodeo. That's my first complaint here. Number two, I don't understand what about this picture is fruity.
Yeah, to me, it's just a confrontation, and it's him trying to be sly. I mean, I could understand if there was a lot of blushing, and there was, a lot of times when manga artist is trying to portray an affection, there's a lot of these like little hearts and bubbles, and it makes it very like light and very lovely, and you know what I mean?
Bubbles? You mean like what we've seen around Deku and Uraraka?
What? No, say it ain't so. Yes, exactly. It's that whole when she was looking out the window, or when they fist bumped each other, like, it's called a connection for a reason. And I just don't get how two guys looking at each other, one guy being uncomfortable because he realized he made a mistake. Context is everything, everyone, okay? Context is everything. If you've never seen the scene, then you don't have the context. But even looking at this picture without the context, there's nothing that indicates that at all. There is definitely a straight explanation for it.
Yeah, looking at this without context, I see just one man making the other man very uncomfortable. That is what I see without context. And that's not me just trying to be like, I see things my way and my way only. No. Seriously, when I look at Rhodey, he looks like he's being sly, like he's up to something. He's up to no good. And I don't mean like in a sexual or fruity way. He's just up to no good in general. And then Deku's just nervous, and not in a blushy way, but in a oh crap way.
Yeah, especially since he realized that he could get in trouble because he's not actually a licensed hero in that area and jurisdiction.
Ice in in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearrange.
Okay, so when I first saw this video, I was like, ooh, look, a video that I can agree with. I was like, yeah, all I'm going to say is that Bakugo really is the shiz. Dekugo. Oh my god, what the heck is wrong with me? I just want to add the EO to everything. Rodeo, Dekio, or whatever.
Dekagu. I don't know what you said.
I don't know, but it was horrible. Anyway, Deku has the most beautiful laugh. And then I saw the last part. And I realized that I didn't agree with this at all. At least not I agreed with 2/3 of it.
I have a question. If this is the fruitiest movie you've ever seen, have you not seen Love, Simon, or the several other gay romance movies that we have that exist in our world?
I mean, just watch the anime Yuri on Ice, and I think you'll get the fruitiness. I'm just trying to figure out where the fruitiness came from, okay? Maybe it was the fact that they rode around in a van or whatever, the van truck, whatever, for a couple days. But that was kind of like they had to do it. And it wasn't like they were sitting in there holding hands and being all kissy, blah, 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 whatever. Like, really?
Also, I don't know about you, but I would go, like, across a country with a friend in a van. I would do that with friends. Like, why would it specifically just have to be romantic? Why is that a sign of fruitiness? I would do that with literally anyone. I mean, not a stranger. I wouldn't do that with a stranger. With someone that I knew.
Y'all hear that? If y'all want to come pick Inferno up, just ride with anybody.
No, I won't ride with anyone.
And I think some people say that the rainbow or whatever in the freaking movie somehow indicated that, oh, this is the blossoming of a gay relationship. And I'm thinking, you do realize rainbows are like nature, right? Like, there is rainbows in nature that have nothing to do with that, right? It's a sign of beauty in nature, actually, and a sign of something beautiful coming after the storm.
Which there was definitely a storm. Like, poor Rhodey in that scene where Deku's just dragging him along trying to get away from the villain.
Yeah, that poor dude. He was... that was messed up. This person seems very angry, I would have to say. Very upset, very hurt. I don't think they understand the concept of having an opinion. I think that their concept is if your opinion doesn't match what my perspective is, then you are homophobic, that's a pretty serious thing to be talking about and accusing people of.
Yeah. Also, like, what Todo Deku vibes? I didn't see Todo Deku in the movie. I didn't see that at all. I'm confused because what I saw was a My Hero movie that had a lot of blood and violence and very funny moments.
Yeah, and it had a lot of connection with characters, yes, but in a very, like, deep way that was platonic and showing that, like, first of all, let's talk about Todoroki for a second. Do you know who his first real friend was? Deku. You don't think he's concerned about Deku?
Deku's out here making friends with all the people who haven't had friends in years.
Yeah. Like, so you think about this for just a second, okay? Imagine you're someone who has not had a relationship with somebody, like a deep connection with someone, because nobody wants to be your friend, or you don't want to be anybody else's friend because you're cold-hearted, and his genuineness and his warmth literally reaches you and helps you to accept who you are and to become friends with him. Like, you can imagine that when it's changed your heart that much, that you're truly going to want to help and protect someone like that. To give back what they've given to you.
Also, just because someone doesn't agree with your ship, that doesn't make them homophobic. It just means that they don't agree with your shill. They don't agree with your shill, and they don't understand it, and they just don't personally see the same proof that you're apparently seeing. Because I mean, honestly, it's not there. But also, that doesn't make someone homophobic.
Yeah, I don't get that. We don't call them straightophobic, I guess. Would you call the people? I mean, you can't be scared of straight people, whatever. But that's what it comes across as when we don't do that when you disagree with the fact that we think that certain characters are straight. And this whole thing of shipping and straight and gay and all that stuff, that's going to be in another video, but the thing is, and the point in watching these videos is, these are some of the top videos when I looked up World Heroes missions that were like at the top. Okay? These are the ones that people made right off the bat, like as soon as it came out. And to me, it just shows a perspective that is like, are you serious? Like, you watched this movie, a battle shonen, okay, about kids wanting to be superheroes and helping people. And your thought is, let me find all of the ships in this, and that's all I can focus on, and that's all I can talk about. I just find it really strange that we just are going to ignore this whole interesting concept of this story that they were trying to convey about how, you have the villain who, instead of really pushing and trying to solve the problem he was having, he instead decided to victimize himself and try to make himself feel better by demonizing all of these quirks, and he had just given up instead of really pushing through and working to accomplish his goals. And that's one thing that Deku talked about in the fight, was about how you gave up. You didn't push through and try to accomplish your goals. And I think that's a very important message, especially for today and this age. We have a lot of people who give up after they push a little bit and they don't get the results they want. They just give up, and then they become a victim instead of trying to make their way themselves. And that's one thing that Deku has done and shown us over and over again, that even though he didn't have the advantage, even though he didn't have the privilege of a quirk at first, he continued to push forward and create that opportunity for himself.
The takeaway is that we all need to be more like Deku.
Exactly. And quit victimizing ourselves and push for what we want, and understand that just because life isn't fair doesn't mean that we get to lay around and whine and complain about, oh, life isn't fair, life isn't fair. Live your life, do what you want to do, but quit blaming everybody else and being a victim.
Stop screaming at other people. That's another thing. Stop screaming at other people and being so hateful. Be nice.
Yeah, because, everybody who disagrees with your ship is a homophobic fan. Maybe I'm crazy, but it's getting to a place. I truly believe that these people don't actually enjoy the franchise for what its actual story is, but more for what they want to fantasize it to be. I mean, what? Was I sleeping during that movie? How is this what you come out thinking, really? Now, we each saw this movie a second time. I went and saw it with another group of people, and you went and saw it with some friends from work, I think it was.
I saw it with my one lonely friend, Forrest. I mean, Forrest isn't lonely. I don't know why I don't know why I said he's lonely. I saw it with one other person. I saw it with my friend Forrest.
Oh my gosh. Anyway. Wow, way to out him.
Apparently, my friend Forrest is lonely, and I'll just go home with anyone. That's the takeaway from this video.
Yeah. Come get Inferno. Well, how was that event?
He was amazing. We went on like a Wednesday afternoon. There was only one other person in the theater. It was quiet. It was perfect. There were no rude people. Also, my friend walked away not thinking Deku and Rhodey were in a relationship, because he's got a good head on his shoulders, and he's also very gay, so just so you know.
Did he think that any of them were gay?
No. And this man was in a relationship with another man for like 8 years, and he didn't think that they were gay, so.
Y'all hear that? Okay, y'all hear that? Anyway, moving on. So the second time that I went to go see the movie, I went with my family, my parents, my brothers, and I could already tell that I was going to be pissed before we even walked in the theater, okay? There were these girls, they were probably middle schoolers. I think they were giggling in line about yelling Sasuke or Naruto in the movies, which was pissing me off. I was so angry. We weren't even in the theater yet, and I was already mad. The movie started, and no yelling out the names, which was great, but they were so freaking loud and giggling and talking, and there was even another group of young girls, like to the other side of us, doing the same freaking thing. Finally, and really, if my family hadn't been there, I probably would have been a little bit more. I would have said something, like, audibly, or not audibly, more like with actual words, but instead, I gave the loudest shh that I could muster, respectfully. But it was definitely super loud, and they were all the way down at the front, at the bottom, and we were at the top. And I know it was loud because they heard me, and they quieted down. Now, after the movie, my hope for the fan base was renewed as I heard some guys talking about the fights, their overall stories, the theories behind the movies, and all that jazz. It was like, you know, it was nice to hear some normal fans talking about stuff other than the freaking ships or crying when Deku got hurt, okay?
I really miss when fandoms were literally, they would discuss the story, they would discuss the characters, character growth. That's what we would talk about, or we would talk about the animation. Oh my gosh.
The what?
we would talk about the animation. Oh, yes. But now it's literally all about shipping. That's all anyone ever talks about. No one talks about the actual story anymore. And that was the whole point of having a fandom, was just so you could talk about the story and talk about the source content. But instead it's like, oh my gosh, shipping. Oh my gosh, fan fiction. Oh my gosh, smut.
I hate that word so much. Okay, now you might be wondering, what is the common denominator in all of these crazy incidents? If I may be so rude and crude and quite freaking obvious, it's the female fans. Let's be real here, okay? And you know, y'all might think, oh, you don't know what those videos, like who they are or whatever. I'm like, okay, I didn't go look in their bio. I didn't go do all that. But I'm sorry. Typically, when you look at, especially my second experience, they were all female fans, okay, that were freaking out. And the ones that were crying behind us were female fans, too, okay? Oh, my gosh. And we can say this, okay? You and I, we are female. Like, we understand. Like, I'm not saying that you can't be a female and be a good fan. But, the ones that we tend to disagree with and butt heads with are the female fans. Call us pick-me girls, whatever. I love how that's the reaction instead of being like, oh, you just think differently than most females. No, you are a pick-me girl. Do you hear me? You want all the guys' attention. No, I could care less about all the guys' attention. I just like to be right, okay? That's all I care about. I'm just kidding, not right. It's more like I care about being logical, okay, and thinking things through, not just going off of freaking emotion. Being honest, I only know a few female anime fans that are solid. Maybe that's just me. And you know, we're the only two that I know.
I mean, luckily I do know, like, a few, like, all of the friends who I have that are girls who are fans of anime. They're all very solid. Like, they care about the actual plot. They don't care about the shipping. Let's see. I don't think I've talked about shipping with anybody.
Yeah, I think the only person that you talk about it with is me, and we talk about how stupid it is. Because it's like, to me, it's such a small, like, teeny tiny aspect of the entire genre in general, much less, like, these stories.
I mean, there was the time that my friends and I at work, we were talking about, like, making an Uzui fan fiction making it very tragic but also good, making like an Uzui fan fiction about like his wives and a bunch of drama, which was honestly just really fun and really funny, but it wasn't like anything ridiculous.
On top of the fact that you understand that that is a complete fan fiction and that it has nothing to do with the main plot line, and you're not saying this would be in the movie or in the show if they would just let it be in there. Like, you know that there's a difference.
Also, what is this whole thing about, like, oh, well, they're just hinting at it because they can't put it in there? Like, the man wrote the damn show. He can put whatever he wants in it. What do you mean he can't put that? He can't do that. He can't be open about this or that. The man can do what he wants.
Anyway, it's just absolutely ridiculous. And, we're tired of it. But, I mean, most female fans that I know personally, they are good, solid people who truly just care about the story and the plot line and all that. In fact, I really don't talk with just anybody about shipping but you. You're the only person I talk to shipping about, and it's always to crap on it.
I just remembered my really horrible experience when I went to my book festival that I go to every year, and someone saw the lock screen on my phone, which was from the World Heroes Mission movie, because it was like Rhodey with Bakugo and Deku and Todoroki. And I got so excited because I was like, oh my gosh, we're going to talk about the movie. I loved it. I'm so excited. And so we started talking about it a little bit. And then out of nowhere, she's just like, and I can't believe how fruity it was with Rhodey and Deku. And the way my face fell and my hope just sank and disappeared into my chest. Like, that was it. And then there was someone else in line with me who started piping in. And she was like, oh my gosh, yes, it was so fruity and gay. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like confused and hurt. So I just went back to reading my book and minding my own business, and I just fully fell out of the conversation.
I have a question. Were they female?
Yes, they were.
There it is, folks. There it is. Like, I am seriously so over it, it's not even funny. And we're going to talk about shipping in another freaking... We're going to talk about shipping in another video. But we just wanted to get this out there. You know, we had the movie fresh on our brains. We thought we were going to get to watch it tonight. Didn't realize that the release date was actually for the Japanese, not for us. So, here we are.
It's my fault.
It's okay. I remember enough of it that it didn't really take much. Plus, I wrote down everything when I had first seen it. Mm-hmm. So, we're good. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm sure there are plenty of you that are listening to this thinking, I hate these people. They're homophobes and they're horrible and evil and they have no basis for what they're saying and blah, 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 blah. So, you know, this is our opinion. These are our rants. We're just taking the source material and running with it instead of making up our own fantasies.
I'm going to run away with the source material and protect it from all of you.
Yeah, the ones who are mad at this. If you agree with this and you are like, yeah, finally somebody, then give us a like, comment, subscribe. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, come talk to us about Rodeo Soul.
It was wine time. I'm sorry. And if you have things to disagree with us about, too, you can comment that below, too. We'll talk to you about it. I mean, it might be a stupid conversation, but yeah. Go ahead and comment below.
Yes, thank you.
Anyways, guys, that's all for today, and we will see you in the next Rant and Rage.
Au revoir. What is that light? Oh, there's a person. What?
That literally scared me to death. I knew it was probably somebody we knew, and I knew the doors were locked, but...
It was your dad.
Oh my gosh, that scared the crap out of me. I'm not adding that in. Oh my gosh.
There he goes.
I know, he's going to get on to me about not being aware. But I saw the light come on, so I knew somebody was coming.
I saw the light come on. I watched him walk around the car.